I'd like to call upon the subconscious, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Are you able to do a body scan and see what's happening to her body, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. What's going on there for her?
Seems to be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just muscles. And she needs to move a little bit more. Just needs to stretch and do yoga, walk a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, everything else is really good.
Oh, fantastic.
Her shoulder, like she mentioned.
Mm-hmm. And do you want to remind her of the discomfort of that right shoulder? What's going on there for her?
Yeah, she's doing way too much. She's doing everything. But she works at home, so she feels like she's got to do everything. She doesn't have to. She just has to ask. She'll be fine with that. She's got it figured out.
Okay, thank you. And what else about her body? Is every system in her body balanced and harmonized?
Just going through a scan right now just to check. Yeah, everything's good.
Fantastic. Thank you. Are you able to give her beautiful, uplifting healing and energy while we continue on with the session today?
Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes.
Oh, lovely. Okay. So subconscious, what dimension are you in?
Turian.
Mm-hmm. And can you give us just a general number?
9.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Lovely to talk to you again, Victorian. And from your perspective, what in terms of the shift, what does shifting to 5D mean for humanity?
Yeah, a lot of people think it's just this planet where you're thinking, it's your mindset. But there's more to it. You have to be ready to ascend to this shift. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's meant to do this big shift. Some people's lessons are done and they're meant to shift over, and that's when their vehicle expires here on this lifetime today, where their soul gets to ascend.
So can you tell us what ascending means then? What does that actually look like?
Your body has to expire here. It's just a vehicle. It's just like a loan. So it has to expire. Other people's going to look like death. But your soul just keeps going. And the soul's been through this so many times already. They just forgotten. So once they just expire here, then they evolve and move to where they're supposed to go. Now, while saying that, there's everybody's meant to be in different places. Not everybody's shifting in the same direction. Some people are meant to go to New Earth, and some people aren't ready yet. Not a punishment. It's just depending where your life lessons are at the time.
Thank you so much. Yes, indeed. What is the life contract for this planet, for the soul of this planet, in terms of shifting to 5D? How can you explain to us, subconscious, the life contract of the soul's planet?
I feel like this planet doesn't have that soul anymore. I feel like she's moved on already.
Mm-hmm.
She's attached by like a cord.
Mm-hmm.
but she's not fully here now. And that's why the planet's going through all these purging. And that's why people are going through purging. I'm sorry, did I answer your question?
Yeah. Well, so you so she's left the 3D, and so is she going to the next dimension, the 5th dimension?
Yes. She's
What,
already there.
what does that look like for her?
It's peaceful. It's more beautiful. There's more balance. She's not being taken advantage of in the same way as she was here. She got more respect. Everything's in balance. Still not perfect, but way better than what was on this earth. Everything's got more of a, try to find the right words. Yeah, like just everything surrounding her has more of a respect towards her and an understanding. Maybe more so because everybody's telepathically able to communicate. So everything's all in open and they can all communicate with her openly. So it's a lot easier that way.
Fantastic.
Not being taken advantage of, not being destroyed.
I can see the bonus in that. So thank you. That is wonderful. Thank you. And so in terms of what is the term old earth, what is that referring to, the old earth?
Label again, but pretty much before or after the shift. So after the shift is old earth. But there's gonna be different shifts because it looks different to everybody. Again, it comes back to perspective. So people see it as everybody's dying, everything's going to kind of turmoil, everything's getting flipped upside down. But the ones that know about this and are expecting it, they won't see it differently. They'll see it more of a celebration. So it just depends how you're going to see it.
And so that's still a future experience for humanity then?
Definitely.
Okay, thank you. And so subconscious, would you get a sense of what event or events would have to take place that we could understand that could then start being calling this earth old earth?
It depends, right? Everyone's label is different for that. Some people call it old earth right away when they see something big's happening, and other people won't relate to that at all. It depends where you live on this planet. Some people will see this solar flashlight, and some people won't see it. Some people just hear about it. So it just depends on their perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Some people could be a volcano, some people could be an earthquake. Depends.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, makes sense. And so what could be some of the lessons, while there would be a huge range of them, but what would, just so we can understand, why would certain people want to experience the old earth? What are the lessons they're trying to search and seek for being on the old earth?
It's like their soul needs to live through that experience to understand. Some people or souls had an experience here on earth, but they've experienced similarities through other lifetimes, but they still haven't learned the lesson to be totally follow their intuition as opposed to follow the crowd, follow the people following. So as following, they always fell into the, it's like you're not learning, you're not growing, you're not moving forward. So by being left behind, you're not really left behind. They need to see for themselves. They need to experience it for themselves. They need to see that big ending, to be caught in that moment. So then they can have no choice to reflect within at that point. They will have nobody else to follow. Nobody else there to follow online, nobody else to follow on TV. They're there to do themselves, just to be within, to go within, and to find all the right answers and everything that's most purposeful for them to learn from. I hope I explained that right.
Yeah. No, it's all valid. It makes so much sense. Thank you. So then, subconscious, can you tell me what is New Earth?
It's a different place altogether. It has nothing to do with this place here at all. It's a whole new different place. But the location can't be said out loud. Even if we wanted to tell you today as much as we want to, that means the information will be out there and it can be jeopardized. So the less information, the better. But it's a totally different place. It's not here at all. This planet here has been gone through so much. Humanity has taken advantage of it, shit on it, destroyed it, poisoned it, just so bad that it needs to clean itself out. It needs to go through fire, through ice, through wind, through all the changes to cleanse from top to bottom. So the ones that think staying here to have a better life, you cannot fix all that. It would take even longer than humanity can even think of before it's all fixed and brand new. They would have to go through so much turmoil of like deep fires and deep ice ages. You cannot survive that. Even if they went deep into the middle of the earth, there's caves there already that needs fixing. There is nowhere else to go. This whole planet needs to be purged completely and rebirthed completely before humanity can come back here and have an existence on it to begin with. So to go to 5D is a totally different place. Sure, you could start living your way as if you're there to a certain point. But the 3D energy is so dense. As much as the most perfect soul is trying to make its way up to 5D, the density still brings it down. It's a totally different location.
Thank you so much. And so, are you able to give the vehicle a peek at the New Earth? And can you tell me what she would be noticing first as she sees the New Earth?
And the colors are different. It's more vibrant. Even the sky, it's not just one color. Here we see blue, we see gray, we see white clouds. But the sky would be like purples and teals. The colors right away just shine more vibrantly.
And what would she be noticing about herself?
So much lighter. So much lighter and able to shift a little bit to like changing the way you look, but not in the sense of magician, just with a wand, just like ta-da, like that. It would mean like slowly transform your looks. Slowly you can transform the hair colors. Slowly you can fix your skin if you feel like your skin is not as tight as what you prefer. it's all done with love. The more love you give everything, the more love and intentions, all that could be used together, will work for the benefit of each soul.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Subconscious, while I asked for a body scan for the vehicle, I didn't realize that there was another being in the room. Can you tell me if we can help that dog? It seems like the dog would like some attention potentially. Could you do a body scan for the dog and tell me what's happening for that dog, please?
The dog has anxiety.
Oh dear. What's happening?
The dog cannot be away from this vehicle. This vehicle is trying really hard on giving distance and peace and love. She even went out and got the poor thing a crate yesterday just so he can have space all alone and understand he can't be with her all the time.
Well, okay, so subconscious. What is the life contract between the vehicle and the dog, please?
Oh, he's always been around her, always, always, always. He's just supposed to be with her. But it seems in the last, she left him in another life. His anxiety is about being left alone, and he doesn't like that. But he's here to learn how to be alone a little bit. Poor dog.
And so can we reassure him that he's not really going to be left alone this lifetime, now that she knows that, and she can support him and support his anxiety? What else can we do?
Yeah, we could put a light around him and make him feel safe. He just doesn't feel safe.
What happened to him when she left him in the other lifetime?
He was all alone, totally alone. Caught him by surprise. He wasn't expecting it. He was an animal back then too. Her pet, same as today.
Okay, so can we send love and protection and support for that animal that was alone, trusting that it was purposeful to have self-empowerment, and may that heal and release the anxiety from this dog this lifetime? Is that appropriate?
Yes, and thank you. I really benefit them both. Thank you.
Bless them, bless his heart. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so getting back to the questions. So subconscious, can we take our current bodies to the new earth?
Yes, some will, but it's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about those who can take their bodies to the new earth. What does that look like, or how does that occur?
I almost feel like they'll get activated at the right time, or they could just astral travel.
I see.
So the ones that do that right now, some people do that in their sleep right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're able to do that in your sleep right now, just a second, no. It won't be the same body. It's not the same dense body. It's your soul. Your soul, it's got to disconnect from your body.
Okay.
Maybe ask again after. Like, I'm confused.
Okay, so I'll ask again. Will we be able to take our current bodies on New Earth?
No, not the body like the body itself. No, no, it won't make it.
Mm-hmm.
The body itself is too dense to do that. You would have to go through so much to make it happen. Only the soul, just like astral traveling, but not the body itself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes, and I guess if people are trying to read the energy of themselves being, say, here and then on the new earth, you're reading potentially the signature of the soul versus the signature frequency of the body. Could that be how people get a bit confused seeing themselves on the new earth?
Because you could see yourself on New Earth,
Mm-hmm.
imagine yourself on New Earth.
Mm-hmm. Can you give the vehicle, can you place her on the new earth now, and can you tell me what she's noticing about her physical body on the new earth?
Yeah, everything's better. Everything's better with more flexibility. This body is the idea type that most souls feel most comfortable in. But each soul, again, is very different. So you can manifest whatever look feels more comfortable to you. So some people or souls will come across as something a little different than others, but it won't shock one another. Once you're there, you don't have that judgment and you don't have that oh, it's weird kind of. It's just all is and it's all okay. So in this lifetime here today, this vehicle feels like she got cheated. She didn't get enough hair for a hairdresser. She should have had way more hair, let's say. So on New Earth, she sees herself with way more hair.
Sort of like a Sasquatch.
That's awesome. That's funny. Okay, that's funny because her vehicle's family is all Sasquatch here today, so it's awesome you said that. Too funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so when you give her the sense of being on the new earth, how does she feel about being there?
It's more relaxed. It's more acceptance. It's more laid back with beautiful colors. You don't have to eat the same way. You don't have to travel the same way. Everything's easier. You don't have the same health problems. But it's still not like heaven or perfect. And it's not like once you get there that all your problems are done and all your life lessons are over. You're still there to learn and grow. You're still there to go through lessons and purposes. So people see it as like heaven on earth or heaven and it's done. It's never done.
Can you tell me some of the things that would be perceived as problems on the new earth?
Creating, because you're going to be creating everything. So, like, example here, you could just go to a hardware store and pick up all your wood, start building. Over there, you don't have a hardware store. You have to create with your imagination. You have to use your imagination. It would be trial and error to try and create something in front of you. Let's say you want to build a cabin. So you have to imagine all the lumber being put together. You have to imagine all of it being like Lego pieces being put together. But if you don't have the right imagination yet, and it takes practice, like building your first thing, it's like building a house today. You're probably a shitty house first time you do it, especially if you have no guidance and no help. As you keep building more houses, you learn from experience. So over there, because you don't have the tools, when you're using your imagination to create, it'll just take time to be able to use your imagination to create. So it'll be frustrating at first. So you want it all done in the first shot.
Mm. Oh, I see. It is fascinating. Thank you. Yeah, I could see the struggles there, but very motivating to be able to sort of master that at the same time too.
Mm-hmm. Even to do your food. Food will grow everywhere, but you still have to do your gardens. You still have to work on yourself for your land. Not your land, it's everyone's land equally. We have to put love into it. And people will be frustrated because you can't just learn how to do that overnight. It's a skill that comes with time.
Mm. Is that the sort of skill sets that people are starting to learn now on this planet?
Not truly the same, but similar. Because this planet here is all about tools and equipment. You won't really need tools and equipment. You just need an imagination.
Thank you so much. And can you tell me, please, can someone in a carbon-based body be on the new Earth or any 5D planet?
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone in a carbon-based body can be on the new Earth.
You just have yes.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else.
Okay. We also we think we know that the bodies on the new Earth would be also crystalline. So we don't quite know all of the matter that creates these bodies that we can project on the new Earth. So can you help me understand about the difference between the bodies we have here now on this planet versus the bodies we will have on the new Earth?
So the bodies you have here, they take a lot of work. They're very dense. You get what you put in, but everything's physical. New Earth, you could just it comes down to your imagination again. You have to imagine what you want out of your body. How do you want to look like? What do you want to project? And as you project that, and as you work on it, you'll succeed. But here, you can't just imagine you're skinny with long, thick hair and it just happens. But over there, you can't just do that either overnight. It takes practice, but it's the way it works. But here, it's not how it works at all. You can think you're skinny with long, thick hair, but it won't happen.
Mm-hmm. So just so I understand the body on the new Earth, what is it sort of comprised of then? I mean, we sort of are fixated with labels about carbon and crystalline, but how can you explain the physical or the non-physical bodies that are on the new Earth?
Get anything at all.
Okay, it's fine. It's just details, and it's not really that significant. We'll find out when we shift. And it is quite complicated when we ask about the complexities of what comprises of bodies. So thank you. Subconscious. We hear from many other people talking about the new earth being here now on this planet, and we are in the fifth dimension. Where are they getting their information from?
It's from ego. That's just an ego. That's what ego wants because it's more comfortable. Because who wants to know that we're all gonna, all these souls have to go all like just like that? But then at the same time, how would so many people react hearing that all at the same time? And then you could tell people the truth and they don't want to hear it. But this version, they want to hear it and it sits with them. There's just ego. It's more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so why do you think people use the ego still to talk about the metaphysics?
Because they can't tap in. They can't tap in. They can't go in. They can't go in. They can't get their teams. They can't hear them. So they make it up. They make up what's comfortable.
Is it, for subconsciouses and guides, is it challenging for you to have your 3D counterparts not listening to the information you're trying to provide to people?
Yeah, very. We have to lower our vibration and meet them halfway. But they have to raise their vibration and meet us halfway. And if they can't meet us halfway, they can't connect. And it's very frustrating because we're here for them all the time. And we want them to connect. And we see them trying. And we realize how dense it is. So dense that they're having a hard time to raise their vibration. But they have all the tools in front of them and they know how to make it work. They're just being frustrated and it's easier to give in. And their ego just wins.
I see. And so what sort of events would need to take place before the shifts? Any human actions or experiences that aren't natural disasters, for example?
Yeah. Especially when you go back to this vaccine that's going on right now, a lot of people have to go through that experience just to know that they're trusting, they're putting all their trust in the wrong people. So that's like big epiphanies they're going to have when they realize that all the trust they had in big pharma or media, let's say, that's going to be a huge lesson right there all on its own. But again, when we say that, that only refers to a certain percentage of people. Not everybody's watching the news. Not everybody got vaccinated. There's just one scenario right there. We all need to live certain lessons, and the lessons have to be done, and we can't just end things too quickly because they're all here to fulfill their contracts and they all have their lessons to learn. And some of them is different lessons according to family. Family's huge. This Earth planet, they've been brainwashed into thinking family's everything and family's supposed to be their rock and family's supposed to be there even they get shit on by family. And family's just here to make you see, grow, and evolve. And you're not supposed to stick. You're supposed to move and you're supposed to see, do, be, have adventures, go. Your family just holds you back constantly. They have all these events, all these calendar events. They have to get rid of the calendars because the calendar's telling you when it's Mother's Day, when it's Father's Day, when it's this. They're all always staying nearby family because the next event. So once they learn they can detach and they're free and their family's not to hold them down, then they'll have more lessons that way because nobody's learning anything from staying put, from staying glued. So between the vaccine lessons and letting go of family, all the programming, those are huge lessons they need to learn right now. And people are being relocated for a reason. Is to stay away, just to disconnect from family. You're not supposed to stay put.
I could see that it would take quite a lot of courage for people to expand and empower themselves beyond their social systems of family.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there any other information you would like us to understand about the shift to the shift for humanity?
The shift is different for everybody. What some people are going to feel is a shift, other people won't. And again, it just depends on where you're going to live on the planet. Geographically, it's all different. So the laser event, let's say, we keep seeing it being pushed. Can't really say if that's going to be happening or if it's something else. But let's say that does happen. A lot of people will see that as a shift, but some people won't see it at all. It just depends on your perspective. Sorry, did I go away from your question?
Mm-hmm. It's a big question, so I understand it's hard to be able to cover every aspect of it. So we understand. So thank you very much. Is there any other messages you would like us to know today?
You're doing a lot of good for humanity, Joe, and we thank you. And this is going to help a lot of people understand and connect some dots. But we do see a lot of people aren't meant to get these messages at all. Even though we want everyone to hear it equally, it's only meant for certain ears. And some people will listen, but they will not put the pieces together the same way. And that's okay. It's not meant for them to go that way. It's almost like looking at a W and you have 4 people in a circle looking at the same W. One person will say, no, that's a 3. Another person will say, no, it's an M. Another person will be like, no, it's just mountains. It just depends where you're going to be at the time and how you perceive everything. It depends what they need to learn. It's going to be different for everybody. But thank you, Joe, because you are doing a lot of good, and a lot of good people that do need to hear these messages are on top of it. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Subconscious. I trust that all will be directed to these messages if they are appropriate for them, and trust that those people who cannot hear this information at this time will be protected away from this, because we know it can be quite triggering when you hear the truth about the shift.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's definitely a shift where you're relocating away from here, where you're, it's not a trip where you're coming back. Nobody's coming back for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, Subconscious. How is her body feeling, and how is the dog's body feeling?
She's feeling really relaxed. She's doing absolutely fantastic. And the dog seems to be doing better. He's just lonely. He's fine.
Mm-hmm. Well, we send him a big love bubble and appreciation to allow this session to happen to get today. And is there any private messages that you want to share with the vehicle that doesn't get shared publicly?
No, she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do and she's listening. We're really proud. She's doing exactly what she's supposed to do and she's helping a lot of people. And even though she's got cheeky comments and she comes out as being a little weird sometimes, she's got her humor to back her up. And we're right there cheering her on. It's fine. She's doing fine.
I think she's doing great. She was mentioning her frustrations when she was giving clients incredible sessions and they weren't listening to the sessions. So can we ask for all of the subconscious from all of her clients to be empowered enough and inspired enough to go and listen to the sessions that they've had with her, because that information is profound, the healing is profound, and we are wishing for everyone to step up and face their concerns and fears and listen to their sessions to empower themselves completely.
Yes, thank you. Yes, yes, yes.
Is there any other messages that the dog would like to share with us today?
The dog's frustrated. He just wants to be by her side. He doesn't understand why she's trying to have some alone time all the time. He's just being a dog. It's okay.
Okay. Well, is there any other messages you would like to share with us, subconscious?
Everything's exactly how it's supposed to be. Just go with the flow. It's fine. And sometimes overthinking everything is too much too. So we just gotta go with it. And let go. And people are forgetting to have fun. We need to have fun. We need to be silly. We need to let go a little bit. And that would help so much. Everything got so serious. Especially these last 2 years, more serious than ever. People really need to learn how to just let go and have fun and just laugh at themselves. So important.
Absolutely. Well, can we ask all the collectives to be able to help inspire many and all people to be able to find their fun again and to treat themselves to having fun, to empower themselves and enjoy each moment that they have here on this planet at this time?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you so much.